to the World Massage Conference.
Hello and welcome. I'm Melanie Hayden. I will be your host for this class on 5 shifts for creating a successful massage practice, even if you're surrounded by competition. Today, our instructor is going to be Rebecca Overson. We're really excited to have her here with us for our World Massage Conference for the first time. If you are joining us live for this class, remember to jump into the chat room located just to the right of the broadcast screen there. Take advantage of the opportunity that Rebecca is going to be in the chat room with us during a live event, and you can share your feedback with the other therapists from around the globe and start interacting. We'd love to hear from you. Just before we get started, I'd like to thank our sponsors. Thank you to our global sponsor, Massage Envy. Massage Envy is a community of caregivers committed to helping people feel their best. They believe that therapeutic massage and customized skincare are an integral part of the well-being journey. If you share this belief, they'd like to get to know you better. Learn more at massageenvy.com/careers. And thank you to our education partner. Associated Bodywork and Massage Professionals provides an extensive array of member benefits and exceptional liability insurance. Visit abmp.com to discover why over 80,000 massage and bodywork professionals have chosen ABMP as their professional association. And thank you so much to our daily sponsors, Massage and Bodywork Magazine, Bon Vital, BioFreeze, and Massage Warehouse. 5 shifts for creating a successful massage practice, even if you're surrounded by competition. Did you follow your passion into massage career only to find yourself stumped about how to actually build a successful practice? Rebecca Overson struggled for 8 years making costly mistakes, getting deeper in debt, perpetually wondering what she was doing wrong until she eventually quit. When she came back, she built a successful 6-figure massage practice almost overnight without hunting down clients one by one. In this class, you'll discover the 5 vital shifts she made to turn her business around, and you'll learn techniques and strategies that she used to turn her own practice into a soul-fulfilling business. I'd like to introduce our instructor, Rebecca Overson. She started her massage career in 1995 at the ripe age of 18. After quitting massage in frustration years later, she returned again in 2009 to create a successful multi-therapist clinic in Salt Lake City, Utah, where she works as a birth doula, maternity and fertility massage specialist. She understands firsthand the challenges that therapists face and now helps others through her 8-week Rock Your Massage Practice Academy, a mentoring program to help therapists build a thriving practice. Join her Facebook group, The Art of Building a Successful Massage Practice, and that will get you connected with Rebecca. And welcome, Rebecca. We're really excited to have you here.
Thank you so much, Melanie. I am super excited to be here. Ready to just jump in and get going.
Awesome. Let's get started.
Perfect. Okay, well, I just want to welcome everybody. As I heard you reading that intro, I got really connected again to just how much I love to share this information with people, because the pain of struggling for years and years is not something that people have to go through. So I'm really excited to share this, to spare you guys that are participating and listening, just to make this journey easier for you. So we're just going to jump right in. So this is 5 shifts for creating your own successful massage practice, even if you're surrounded by competition. And, I chose this little picture here deliberately because sometimes we feel like this little, sprout that's trying to crack through the concrete, like against all of the odds. But I'm really excited to share these critical shifts with you. So I want to make sure that you guys are in the right place. This presentation is really designed for motivated massage therapists who have started, or maybe just want to start a private practice. And while you do have some clients, maybe you can't seem to fill your schedule consistently or to capacity. You're struggling in some way. Maybe it's to make ends meet. Maybe you just don't have enough clients. Maybe you've got all the wrong kinds of clients, or your schedule is like birds chirping, So this is really going to benefit massage therapists that are really passionate about what they do, who are ready to grow their businesses, but maybe you just don't feel as savvy when it comes to the business stuff. All right. So again, it's just really for entrepreneurial minded therapists. If you're doing massage just kind of for fun or for a hobby or for a charity, then you may not be able to benefit as much from this information that I'm going to share with you. So let's just talk for a minute here about what I mean by success. How to be successful in your own practice. For me, success is three things. It's doing what you love, it's making a difference, and it's making a living. You really have to have all three of those things. If you have, one of those things, like if you're just doing what you love, but you're not making a difference and you're not making a living, that's going to be unfulfilling. Or if you're just making a living, but you're not doing something that you love and you're not making a difference, that's going to be unfulfilling. In fact, a lot of you know that because I think many people go to massage therapy because they're just tired of making a living. They want to do something that they love and make a difference and make a living. So that's really what success is for me. So in the next 60 minutes that we're together, I'm going to show you a couple of things. You may want to make sure that you're prepared with something to write with or take notes with, because I'm going to just give you a ton of useful stuff that you can implement right away. So number one thing I'm going to show you is the number one reason that you don't have enough clients. And by the way, guys, it has nothing to do with competition or your lack of tech knowledge or social media knowledge, okay? I'm also going to go over the 2 rookie mistakes that 9 out of 10 therapists are making that are totally killing their chances of success. We're going to talk about how to stop questioning yourself and really end the desperation of trying to, quote, get clients. I hear that all the time, like, how do I get clients? I'm going to teach you how to become a magnet for a consistent flow of the right clients. And even if you've already tried this and failed, or if you've been struggling for a long time. So my promise to you during this presentation is I'm going to give you a step-by-step strategy for building a massage practice way faster than you ever thought possible without making costly mistakes. Okay? So I want to be really clear. There's nothing for sale here on this webinar, but I do have a very, very cool gift for you at the end. So looking forward to sharing that with you. All right, so let's just jump in here. Does this sound like you? If you can relate to this, I want to hear from you in the chat. Just say, yep, amen, any of this that sounds like you, I want to hear from you. So are you somebody who's getting some clients in, but it's just not consistent from month to month? Are you scared that you're going to waste any more of your hard-earned money on marketing and advertising, and you don't even know if it'll work? Sometimes it's like, gambling. You're just like, I'm going to spend some money here, but I don't know if it's going to work. Can you relate to that? Are you somebody who feels like you're drowning in a sea of business advice out there, but really wondering what applies to you? Like, what is it that you need to be doing? Are you stuck putting up with clients that are just not ideal for you? Are you stuck offering discounts to feel like you have to compete with other therapists and just super tired of putting forth a lot of energy and just not making enough money? Are you just totally wondering, like, what am I doing wrong? And if you're anything like I was years ago when I was struggling, you might be somebody who's just totally frustrated and even beginning to doubt if it's even possible to make a living on your own as a massage therapist. Guys, if that's how you feel, I have some good news for you. None of those things are your real problem. The problem is that you haven't made the 5 shifts that I'm going to teach you. And once you have made these 5 shifts, you will be totally set up to take off. And here's what I mean by that. You will have everything in place to be free and clear to attract the perfect clients for you. You will know what it actually takes to get your schedule full of people that you love to work with, who love and appreciate what you do for them and want to work with you. You're going to have people finding you, people booking with you, people sticking with you and referring to you. And oh my gosh, you might even raise your rates with total confidence. You may be making enough money to support yourself finally. You will. Once you make these shifts, you will be able to make enough money to support yourself. And you're going to be able to do all of this, guys, while tapping into that joy that you first had when you started this work. And trust me, when you implement these shifts, things are going to get much easier for you. So there's one thing I really, really want you to know and that you need to know is that you must make these 5 shifts if you want to build a thriving, sustainable massage practice that you love without taking years and years of struggle. And if you just implement these 5 shifts, like I said, things are just going to get easier. You're going to move forward with clarity and confidence You're going to stop wasting time and resources, and you will have your massage practice up and running and attracting the best clients for you. So I'm going to walk you through these 5 shifts today. That's exactly what we're doing. So really super excited. Let me tell you, even though Melanie did a great introduction here, I want to just tell you a little bit about who I am. I have been a massage therapist since 1995. That's, my gosh, almost 22 years now. That's more than half my life, you guys. I also have a degree in spiritual psychology, and I have been coaching people for years to make massive shifts in those areas of life that are most important, like relationships, career, family, money. And my friends call me a badass businesswoman and entrepreneur. But really, I'm a massage therapist who just figured out business. And I built a thriving massage practice in a very short period of time. And I mentor other massage therapists. I help them implement the secrets that I'm about to tell you so that they can have successful practices of their own. Now, let me just tell you, it was not always like this. I'm going to tell you how I discovered these 5 shifts. I started out in 1995. I was 18. I was great at body work, but I struggled to have consistent clients. I tried to help anybody that I could, everybody that I could, with any problem that they had, so that I didn't have to turn away business. I didn't really know what to do to build a practice, and by the way, the internet wasn't even invented back then. So I literally pounded the pavement. I handed out flyers. I handed out business cards. And sometimes I felt guilty for collecting money for my services because I didn't really think I did anything for people, or because I got way more out of helping that person that I felt like I should be paying them. And we're actually going to talk about this a little bit more in depth in a minute. But the bottom line is I just struggled. I struggled for 8 years. I tried everything. I took new courses to learn new modalities, thinking if I just knew the next awesome thing, that would be the key to having a full practice. I took training on businesses. I took seminars on entrepreneurship. And really all I did was I racked up a ton of debt, and it was absolutely crushing me. I couldn't make my debt payments. I could not support myself on massage alone. I had several loyal clients, but my business wasn't growing. I had very few referrals, and eventually I quit. I went into office administration, became an administrative assistant to pay my bills, because I just, more than anything at that point, I just needed a steady paycheck. And I gave up on my dream, and it was really heartbreaking because this was my calling. So, I was in business administration for a while. Actually, in about a 5-year period, I learned a lot about businesses and how to run them. And I quickly climbed the ranks into management and executive leadership, and found that I was actually very good at running other people's businesses. And in 2009, I had found myself with 2 children. I had become a mom. And when my first child was born in 2006, I actually left my corporate job. And the plan was that my husband was going to support our family, and I would be able to be a stay-at-home mom and have my babies and raise my family. But again, here in 2009, I was a young mom. I had 2 kids under 2, and my family suddenly became desperate for income when my husband at the time, his real estate business evaporated overnight in the recession of 2008. Many of you remember that. Those were some dark days. So in early 2009, again, with 2 kids under 2, I had to go back to work. And massage just made sense with my mom's schedule. And I really felt called to help pregnant women after having given birth myself. And I started a prenatal massage practice. And guys, I had a huge vision and mission and purpose. I was really passionate about empowering pregnant women. And the skills I had at the time was massage them. So this is a little picture here in 2009. That's my oldest child with the curly hair there. He's now 11 years old, and that chunky baby is my second born. And I look at this picture. This is actually a picture that the newspaper took when they did an article on my business. And I see this picture. It just gets me. It makes me cry. They were 2.5 and 5 months old. And that was a really hard time. My back was against the wall. We were living on our food storage. And my mom would occasionally bring over diapers because she knew that we just couldn't afford much at the time. And it was just a hard time, but I did it. I did it because I had a vision ahead of me that was bigger than the circumstances in front of me. In the worst economy I have ever seen in my lifetime, I started this prenatal massage practice, and I instantly had 12 clients my first month. When I decided that then this was something I was really going to go for and do full time, I went from 10 clients a week to 20 clients a week in a 30-day period. I doubled my practice in a 30-day period. And then I doubled my sales every single year for the first 4 years. People were freaking out. In fact, I look at my numbers even now. I've been running a 6-figure massage practice for years now, and it's not uncommon for us to look. Even last year, I looked at my numbers and I was like, wow, we doubled again. So everyone was like freaking out in this early years going, Rebecca, what are you doing? It's like all of a sudden everybody knows who you are and you're really rocking at this. So, in year 8 now, I now manage a busy practice with 14 employees. We have 7 massage rooms. We have a yoga studio, and it's just my dream come true. Everything I envision. It's just super cool. And I did that by following these 5 shifts that I'm going to tell you. I kind of just discovered them as I went. I looked backwards and I thought, how did I do that? And here's how I did that, you guys. These are the 5 key shifts that you must make to get your practice where you want it and to free yourself from the struggles and the mistakes that you may not realize you're making that are killing your chances of being successfully self-employed. I'm going to walk you through all 5 of them right now in this session. So let's just get started here with shift number 1. Shift number 1 is stop trying to get everyone through your door. Okay, if you are one of those massage therapists who just wants to help everybody, say that's me. Put that in the chat box. That's me. I just want to help everybody. I just want to get my hands on anybody and everybody. Let me talk to you about why this is a problem. Why you need to stop getting everyone through your door is because you will remain invisible to your clients. You will be lost in a sea of massage generalists. Okay, if you don't set yourself apart by declaring an area of specialty, then you're going to continue to compete by lowering your rates. You might feel like you've got to offer discounts chronically, like all the time, and you're going to let anyone with a pulse through your door. Right? This is not a wise business strategy. You will most likely end up working really hard and still getting no results. So if you feel that way, if you feel like you're working really hard and getting no results to, find clients, this is probably one of the mistakes that you're making, one of the shifts you need to make. This is one of the fastest ways to destroy your practice. Okay. Now, another thing you can see here on the slide is that a lot of therapists make the mistake of listing a lot of modalities that they do, like, I do hot stone and prenatal and sports, and, we list all of these things because you want to help as many people as possible. But I'm going to tell you right now, this is a recipe for failure. I see this a lot. I see a lot of solo massage therapists declaring what they specialize in, and it's usually lists a bunch of modalities. So, or they say, I specialize in whatever the modality is. And there's 2 problems with this approach of focusing on your modalities or these calling them your specialties. First of all, you can't specialize in 5 things. You can't say I specialize in hot stone, prenatal. If you're listing more than one thing, that's not a specialty. That should just be obvious. I mean, there's in the medical world, people can be MDs, but I've never met somebody who's an OBGYN and an ear, nose, and throat doctor and a pediatrician. Okay, they specialize in one thing, one population, or solving one problem. The other issue with listing a bunch of your techniques, and guys, I see this on your business cards and websites all the time. You list all the awesome modalities you've been trained in. The problem with this is your prospective clients do not care. They usually just do not care what techniques and modalities you use. They only care about the problems that they have and whether or not you can solve them. So, on occasion, you're going to find an educated client, like somebody who's a connoisseur of massage and body work, who's just been dying to try shiatsu or craniosacral therapy. And that's a rare exception. So as long as you keep advertising yourself with a list of the techniques you use, you will confuse people, and confused people don't buy. So therefore, you're going to remain invisible to your ideal clients. So if you don't make this shift, again, you're going to be stuck just lowering your rates and discounting and just kind of trying to get everybody on your table. That's really, really frustrating. What you need to do is come up with a niche. A niche, as I define this, is a problem that you solve or a population you serve. A niche will not limit you. It makes it clear, on the other hand, who you serve and who should come to you and who should be referred to you. I firmly believe, you guys, if we all had a niche, number one, it would eliminate a lot of the weirdos that we find in our practices, the creepers, these incidents that we know as massage therapists we do not want to deal with. It would make it very clear what we do and who we serve. But most importantly, there'd be almost no competition. We could actually all support each other. Think about this for a second. Would you rather be a big fish in a little pond or a little fish in a big pond? Once you figure out your niche and your specialty, you will become a magnet for your clients. You will stand out from the crowd, and you can even have the confidence to charge higher rates than everyone else. Specialists do that. Look in parallel professions. You are skilled at solving a problem, you can charge more for that. Okay? Imagine that, making more money, charging more money instead of lowering your rates to compete. Cool. Okay, so this brings us to shift number 2, which is know your key numbers and even love your numbers. You guys, I'm totally embarrassed to say this, but there were times early in my career where I sometimes didn't charge my clients. I'm not kidding you. I literally let them walk out the door after a session without paying me. And I never even brought it up. It was just like, okay, thanks. What's your next appointment? Like, I literally just stepped over it. You know why? One of two things. Because I felt like I had gotten so much out of helping them that I should have been paying them. And number 2, I wondered if they got what they came for. Like, I questioned it. In other words, I didn't think my services were worth what I wanted to charge. Now, in hindsight, I have to admit this is totally weird. But let's take a look at this. How do you price your sessions? I mean, like, really, you guys, how do you gauge how much to charge? I want you to think about this and put your answers in the chat box if you're watching live with us. How do you price your sessions? How did you figure out how much to charge? Most massage therapists will assess the geographical location that they work in, and they'll go with the going rate for massage. They'll look at what other people charge, and they'll kind of charge that, or they'll charge slightly less because they don't think they have enough experience, or they think lowering their rates will get them more clients. So they charge based on their own perceived worth or ability. And then, when do you raise your rates? Probably when you think you're worth it. So in other words, when you think you're good enough delivering a particular outcome that the client will pay for, then you raise your rates. Guys, this is totally backwards, and it's what I call climbing into other people's wallets. If you're setting your rates based on what you think other people will pay, that is not your business. Instead, I want you to imagine charging what you need to make in order to meet your own personal financial needs and goals without fear of losing clients. Imagine being able to have no issue with money. In fact, you guys, the good news is I did heal my issues with money. But imagine, being able to see that money allows you to serve people at a higher level, at least on a basic framework that you won't be freaking out because you're not making ends meet and pretending that you're not. We all know people pick up on energy, right? Got to get your energy around money clear. You really have to get interested in money and numbers. Your practice is a business. It's literally a business. It's not a charity. The goal of a business, having your own business, is to do what you love and support yourself financially doing it. So you have to treat it like a business. Otherwise, it'll become a very expensive hobby. And success needs to be, just clearly defined and measured. So the kind of person that's usually attracted to massage therapy is very right brain dominant person. That means you're intuitive, you're creative, you're nonlinear, you're feeling. Now, of course, there are obviously exceptions to that. We have accountants that are changing careers and going into massage therapy. That's usually the exception. And, as very right brain dominant people, we tend to be a little bit number phobic, and we can get sidetracked with those or overwhelmed with those linear things. I've seen a lot of massage therapists have these really great goals, but they have no actual plan to meet them. Like, they literally have no plan. They just think, go for it, put it out there, but they have no actual plan. Some therapists won't even talk about money. And they get defensive about it because they don't want to be perceived as greedy. And they think that success is just, helping a lot of people or being the talk of the town. And for others, it's a very real financial goal and need. Like it was for me, I was literally supporting my family. The burden was on me to support my family. I wasn't just doing something that was fulfilling for me. So you have to get really clear in this second shift here. You have to get really clear about what your financial goals are and why they matter to you. You've got to heal your relationship with money. If you're somebody that gets a little weird about money, and most people do, you've got to heal that. And you've got to get interested in your numbers and recognize that money is not dirty. Money is not bad. Money is simply paper. It is whatever you make it mean. And it can be a very, very powerful vehicle for serving the world and doing what you love. Now, you guys, I have been in practice for 7 years thinking that since I charged $65 an hour, that I made $65 an hour. You know what I mean? Like, I charged $65 an hour, and I thought that that was what I personally earned. And that was really dumb. I didn't realize, I just didn't realize that I couldn't live like I was making $65 an hour. My business made $65 an hour, but I took home a very different number. After all expenses and taxes, once I really had some help to look at my numbers, my take-home pay for all of my work was about $17 an hour. That was shocking to me. But let me tell you something else. According to AMTA, you guys will know who AMTA is, in 2015, the average annual income for a massage therapist, including tips, was estimated to be $24,519.60. And they said, while massage therapists work in a variety of environments, sole practitioners account for the largest percentage of practicing therapists. That means most massage therapists are sole practitioners, 67% to be exact, according to this study. And that most massage therapists work part-time, which is 20 hours a week. Okay, so let's do some math. That means if you're like most massage therapists, so you're working 20 hours a week, and I'm guessing you guys, that means you're seeing 20 clients a week, not just, working like on the clock. You're seeing that's 20 like hands-on hours a week, okay? And you're most likely to be self-employed. And your earnings, including tips, are $24K a year. You're making about $11 to $15 an hour while doing massage. And again, this does not include the hours that you have to put in as a sole practitioner working on your business, doing marketing and bookkeeping and things like that. So the ABMP did a study as well that the burnout rate within our industry has been estimated at 50 to 88% within the first 3 to 5 years after graduating. 50 to 88% burnout after 3 to 5 years. And also enrollment statistics for massage school seem to support that. There's over 50,000 students enrolling in massage school per year. Guess how many leave the field every year? 45,000. Something is very wrong with this picture. And I firmly believe that therapists burn out because they're working too hard and making too little. It's not worth it. They're not getting a return on their investment in massage school, a return on the time, effort, and energy that they are putting in to building their practice. So they just burn out, right? Can you guys relate to this? Is it making sense? So I'm going to invite you to grab something to write with here if you haven't already and do your own math. Let's just take a look here. How many 60-minute sessions a week can you do? Write that down. Maybe that's 10, maybe that's 20, whatever that is. Write that down. And then write down, what do you want to charge per 60-minute session? Is it 60? Is it 80? Is it 100? Whatever it is, just write that down. Okay, and then now what you're going to do is you're going to take the number of sessions that you can do in a week, multiply that by your hourly rate, and that is your potential gross earnings for 1 week. Pretty simple math here, you guys. Then you want to take those gross earnings, that number you arrived at, and you're going to multiply that by 4.5. Some people do 4.3. It's just the number of weeks in a month. It's not 4 weeks. It's like 4.5. Okay, so you're going to multiply that by 4.5, and that's your gross potential earnings in 1 month. So just quick example again, 20 sessions a week. Let's say you're charging $65 an hour. That means you have the potential to have $1,300 a week in gross earnings. Now you take that $1,300 and you multiply that by 4.5 weeks in a month. That means you have the potential for $5,850 in gross monthly earnings. That means 90 sessions per month will be your goal, and it'll take you 135 hours to perform those sessions. And what I'm basing that on is that it takes you in a solo practice about an hour and a half to perform a 60-minute session, okay, because you've got, set up, take down, check out your client, all of that stuff, okay? So when you take that gross number and you divide it by the hours of performing those sessions, you're actually earning about $43 per hour. You're charging $65 per session, but when you look at all the time it takes to complete 20 sessions a week on average, you're grossing about $43 an hour. Okay, can you guys see that? Does that make sense to you? If that's not enough, by the way, it's that $43 an hour that you will have to pay all of your expenses required to run your business, pay your taxes, savings, and then you can pay yourself whatever's left. If that number that you arrived at is not enough, you either need to add more sessions, you need to be more efficient with your total time, or you need to raise your rates. So if you do this right, you should come out with something between 20 and 40 per session for your gross earnings. And that's not bad for someone who didn't have to go to school for, 2 to 4 years to learn to do this. Okay. Also, you will save yourself some time and therefore money if you focus on the things that only you can do and have somebody else do the other things like graphic design, printing, website, stuff like that. Okay. Okay, so again, that's shift number 2 is you got to really get interested in your key numbers. So moving on to shift number 3. Shift number 3 is have and execute a strategy. You need a strategy to build your business, but not just any strategy. You need the right strategy. You got to ditch this current strategy that you have, which for most of us is cross your fingers and hope it works. We're going to talk about that in a second. It's this old way of doing massage and trying to build your business is doing a lot of these, dismal tasks that are kind of taking up a ton of your time, or focusing on the things that are actually going to yield the highest results. Okay. You need the right strategy to be most efficient with your time. Guys, if you get on Amazon, you're going to find about 50 books on how to build a massage practice. And they are full of great ideas. And some of them are full of not so great ideas. I saw an author or another massage coach that was telling her subscribers to put her business cards all over town. Just put your business cards all over town, anywhere and everywhere. This is, with all due respect, everybody, we can agree to disagree, but this is what I call cross your fingers and hope it works marketing. It can waste a lot of time and money just kind of doing random things to get your name out there. Would you guys believe I don't even have business cards? I've printed business cards a few times in my life. I don't even use that. Let me just put it this way. A therapist that I was coaching once said that she had been doing 10-minute chair massages at a health food store, and she wasn't charging for it. Like, she thought, how do I get in front of people? I'm going to set up my chair at a health food store. I'm going to work on people. I asked her why she was doing that, and she said it was in hopes of getting in connection with people and getting her name out there and getting paying table clients. Then I asked her, okay, it's a good idea, chair massage, sure, to try and get clients. Great. Is it working? How many table clients did you get? She said maybe 2 in the last 2 years. Are you kidding me? That's crazy. Chair massage rarely converts people to table clients, but therapists are told all the time to do it. It doesn't work. It doesn't work that well. So you can keep trying all kinds of things, hoping that they work until you go into debt and close your practice, or you can take committed strategic action. So every choice you make should have a strategy. And I mean everything, you guys. The location of your practice, including whether to have a location or to go mobile. A lot of people just go mobile because they don't have a space. That's not wise. You should define your niche or strategy, your niche or specialty with a strategy. Your graphic design should be strategic. The name of your business should be strategic. Your website, everything should be deliberately crafted to bring the exact kind of client in that you want to see. Here's a bit of my story. When I decided to reopen my practice in 2009 and offer prenatal massage only, I found an office it was a prenatal massage therapist was vacating it because she was having back surgery and just retiring. It was an office that was inside a naturopathic women's health clinic. And the two midwives that delivered my babies also did their prenatal visits out of that office. I mean, it was like perfect. I moved in and I asked the midwives to send out a killer offer to their clients, and I had an instant clientele. So the point is there was no crossing my fingers about it. Can you see that everything I did there was to put me to that one end, which was working on pregnant clients? It'd be a horrible thing if I opened up my prenatal practice in a nail salon. Okay, you guys get that? Okay, now here's the thing. I want to be totally honest with you. You guys have been given a lot of bad advice. Teachers in massage school are not always successful massage therapists. So this is, I just noticed rookie mistake number one. I didn't outline that. That's rookie mistake number one. I promise I tell you, it was this whole cross your fingers and hope it works marketing. Rookie mistake number two here is doing what your teachers say to do. Okay? And we love our teachers, but again, you just want to consider where you're getting your advice from. Let's talk about this for a second. Again, I mentioned Amazon has plenty of practice building books, but information does not equal results. Okay, here my proof of that. Chair massage rarely yields table clients. Free massage. How many of you had instructors that said, just go do a bunch of free massage, just give away a bunch of massages and that'll get you some paying clients. Free massage rarely yields paying clients. How many of you were told drop your business cards all over town, just spread them out everywhere? That rarely yields new clients coming through your door. Groupon and other deals like that rarely yields regular full paying clients. And trying to talk about all of the different modalities and things that you do and convince people that they need massage is a total waste of time. You do not get paid to educate your prospects. Bear in mind that usually we come into this field and we look around and we go, well, what are other therapists doing? What are they doing? Well, what other therapists did may not work for you. This is one of my pet peeves. I hear therapists advertising their rates by the minute. Like they go, I charge $1 a minute. That is not a good strategy. Don't talk about what you do in terms of a minute. You know, there are other unreputable things in the world that charge by the minute. You should just have your prices. If you charge $60 an hour, just say $60 an hour. Don't say $1 a minute. Little things like that, right? What other therapists did may not work for you. So again, just every choice that you have in your business should have a deliberate strategy behind it. Your niche, your location, your graphic design, all of that stuff. All of your client attention activities should be bringing the kind of client in that you want to see. My coaching clients ask me all the time, and in my Facebook group, one of the most frequently asked questions is, how do I get clients? How do I get more clients? You know, should I do this? Should I do that? My answer is always the same. It depends 100% on who are you trying to get through your door. That has to be the first thing that we established. Okay. All right. So strategy plus action equals results equals clients. Okay. Not just action without strategy. Action without strategy is going to give you struggle. So if you feel like you're struggling, you're probably missing a strategy. It'll give you wasted time. It'll give you wasted money. It'll give you a sense of false security. Groupon is great at giving people a sense of false security. It'll give you burnout, and it'll get you a lot of the wrong clients. Okay, so have and execute a strategy. Shift number 4. This is one that I get a lot of flack about, but bear with me and feel free to, if you're watching live, post any questions here for me. I want to get this really clear for you guys. Shift number 4 that you must make is do not be so available. A lot of massage therapists are reactive. They are responding to their client's beck and call. They feel like they're just open all the time. They don't want to miss appointments. So if somebody calls at 3 o'clock and says, can you get me in at 3:30, and you happen to be out running errands, it's like, oh my gosh, I have to drop everything and go back and take care of this client. It's not sustainable if you're running ragged and running amok all over the place. You've got to protect your boundaries. Time is the greatest asset for massage therapists. And here's a couple of tips. If you have an online schedule and it's wide open, don't publish it. Don't publish it. Your clients can see how wide open you are. You certainly don't tell them you're wide open. Sometimes we make the mistake of saying, well, what time works for you? You know, and they want to reschedule or they want an appointment, a new client. You say, oh, yeah, anytime, sure, you name it. That just tells them I am wide open. And guess what? Wide open in the client's mind means, wow, you aren't busy. You must not be in demand. If you're not in demand, you must not be a good therapist. If you're on call all the time, then you're training your clients to book last minute with you. You will end up being a slave, not a professional. So my advice is to set your work hours and make your clients fit in the times that work for you, not the other way around. I promise you will thank me for this. Why? Because time is money for us. Time is money for us. So you've got to use your time efficiently. By the way, going back to this not in demand, you know, if you're not in demand and your schedule's wide open, let me just give you this quick example. There's these two Thai food restaurants that are within a block of each other where I live. One of them always has a line out the door, and the other one is like nobody's in there. I remember driving by there on a Friday night and going, why is that? You immediately in your mind, you think, man, if nobody's going in there, I don't want to eat there. Do they have rats? Like, what's going on, right? It makes you wonder what's wrong. So when you're just presenting yourself in subtle or not so subtle ways that you're wide open, people are going to wonder what's wrong. People will always go to the crowded restaurant because there's social proof that that's a good place to go. Make sense? Okay. This brings us to our last shift, which is invest in a mentor. You guys, if I had one wish for the massage therapy profession, it would be that everybody has a mentor. So let's talk about what this actually means. When you invest in a mentor can help you accelerate your progress. It really allows for life-changing shifts that you cannot get on your own. And quite honestly, of all of the 5 shifts, you guys, this is the most important shift that you can make. A coach, like in a basketball game or sports game, when you're in the game, you can't see all your options. The coach is out there watching you in the game, and they can give you a much broader perspective. Okay? Listen, a mentor can give you solid direction in a short conversation, 30 minutes, that took them 20 years and $100,000 to learn. A mentor can dramatically shorten your learning curve and help you avoid mistakes or even disasters. You get years and years of their expertise and trial and error and success. Having a strategy and a niche doesn't even occur to most massage therapists as a necessity. That's something we talk about a lot in my Facebook group, and people are like, what do you even mean by that? That's like a conversation that I've started among my people in my group, that like having a strategy, don't just do stuff, and have a niche. Don't just try and work on everybody. So a mentor is obviously somebody that's going to help you to put the pieces of the puzzle together much faster than trying to figure it out on your own. Look, knowing something is not the same as being able to implement it. Transformation is very different than filling your head full of information. You didn't read a book about riding a bike, right? Somebody taught you how to do that. Somebody who rides a bike taught you how to ride one. Somebody also taught you how to drive a car. You didn't just read a manual and then go drive the car. Somebody walked you through all of that to make sure you get it right, avoid the mistakes, obey the laws. And also, in our field, somebody taught you how to do all this. Somebody taught you how to do draping. Somebody refined your massage technique, your touch. Somebody worked alongside you to help you to do that. So let's talk for a second about why do-it-yourself doesn't work when it comes to building a practice. Just think about how much you've already tried or been told how to get more clients. Okay, it's trying to do it yourself is going to you're going to waste a ton of time. But when you're working with a great mentor, you're going to have clarity about what you need to do, like next steps for you, given where you are in the game. You can achieve your goals in the shortest time possible. And the best thing about a mentor is that it's going to help to push you through fear. I mean, come on, you guys. How many of you know that fear is holding you back? Be honest, right? It's going to push you through mistakes. It's going to push you through overwhelm and also just laziness. and it's going to help you to get massive results in less time. You know, for example, you can read a book and get a great marketing tip, a great marketing strategy or idea, and then you try to implement it on your own, but you may have no idea what obstacles you will be facing as you move towards your goals. Let me give you an example. Many of you know I'm pretty vocal about how much I despise Groupon for massage therapists, and here's why. I had the most successful Groupon campaign in the history of Groupon. That's what they told me. We had a ridiculously successful Groupon campaign, and it looked like we were doing it right. We were retaining clients. Our schedule was full. We were using it to book our vacancies. It was awesome. But about 3 years into it, and keep looking at my numbers, I thought, why am I am losing money. Why am I losing money? I was doing it right, but I was losing money. And I finally did a deep analysis with my CPA, and I discovered that Groupon was actually driving down my gross revenue, our revenue per session. I was actually earning less overall than we were making. And had somebody just pulled me aside and said, hey, think about this, I could have avoided it. So I was under the illusion of success with Groupon for 3 years, not understanding very clearly how it can actually put you out of business, even when you think you're doing it right. Okay? So that's why many of the things that you've tried haven't given you the results that you've hoped for, is because you may not be aware of how it applies to you and the obstacles that you may be facing. So really, I've spoken with so many massage therapists that are taking business and marketing advice from people that aren't in the field. Like we said, this is totally insane, or they're not successful in the field. Don't take advice from massage therapists that have just been doing it longer than you. Are they actually successful? That's what you want to look at. Having a mentor is invaluable. That is the secret weapon, but not just any mentor. Again, it needs to be somebody who's already attained the levels of success that you desire. They are living and breathing proof that what you want to have is attainable because they're already doing it. Okay? I have always invested in mentors. And by the way, I've invested a ton in mentors. They tell me what to do, how to save time, they cut the crap, and I always get results. In fact, the best mentor will have a program or system that's designed to be the last thing you'll ever need. And there's nothing more powerful than a mentor who has your best interest in mind. That's why I don't recommend going and just asking other therapists for advice. They're not invested in your success. In fact, they might even see you as competition. They'll be like, well, why should I help you? I'm busy growing my own business. Okay? So this is the old way, right? This is the old way of building a practice, is go out on your own, self-design and self-print some business cards online, spread the cards all over town, wait for the phone to ring, and then get mad that your clients don't refer to you. I used to get really mad about my clients not referring to me. I was like, if I'm so good, why aren't you telling people about me? Truth is, I was just making a ton of mistakes in business, all right? Also, the old way is lowering your rates to compete. Try to sell massage by educating anybody that will listen, and question what you're doing because it's not working, and then go further in debt or go completely broke. And then eventually quit massage and go back to your other job or find a real job. Feel like a failure and wonder what's wrong with you and give up on your dream. That's the old way. Or this is the new way I'm showing you, is to work with somebody who's already figured it out and is successful as a massage therapist, and then pay them for their secrets and their wisdom and their strategy and work with them to get results faster. Because you want to find someone who's been there, who's figured it out, who's gotten the exact results that you want for themselves, and just you got to do whatever it takes to get their expert eyeballs on solving your problems so that you can move forward with confidence in what you're doing. See, a lot of you have these pieces of the puzzle, but you don't know where you're going ultimately, okay? I invest in mentors to help me speed up my process, and avoid costly mistakes. And like I said, every time I've invested, I have seen those massive and profound leaps in my own growth and my productivity every single time. All right. You really want to hire the best mentors to get the best results. And by the way, you guys, the price should not be cheap. The price of hiring a mentor should be a stretch, because that will force you to take massive committed action. And I'm going to tell you right now, it might be scary. I've always been a little afraid to make those, kinds of investments, but take a look. Cheap courses, they don't hurt enough. They're no big deal. They're not going to pull you to show up when you've spent, money that's like, not that much money. You need accountability and a guide. And let me just give you a quick example here. As a birth doula, as somebody who accompanies my clients through labor and delivery, my clients, especially if they're first-time parents, they have no clue what birth is really like. No clue. They think they're going to just show up at the hospital and have that baby, and the doctor's going to help them, and it's all going to be good. They have no idea that it can be a treacherous journey. The longest I have spent with a client was 54 hours in labor. 54 hours in labor. Who plans for that? Nobody. You know, and so if I can spare them, I can say, look, here are all of those pitfalls we want to avoid. Here's how to avoid them. I know I can spare them a lot of problems along the way. I know I have spared my clients from pain. I have spared them from unnecessary surgery in childbirth, and I have spared them from trauma. And that is priceless. That is the value of having a mentor who can spare you. Okay, so let's do a quick recap here. We're getting down to the end here, so I want to kind of pull all of this together. So we've talked about that number one reason that you don't have enough clients. It has nothing to do with your skills or competitors. We've talked about those 2 rookie mistakes that 9 out of 10 therapists are making that absolutely kill their chances of success. And we've talked about the real reason you don't have enough clients. All right. And I've also taught you how to go from feeling powerless in marketing to being a magnet for the consistent flow of clients, the right clients, even if you have no clue how to do that. I want to give you a little case study here. This is Mandy. She is one of my mentoring students. And let me tell you what things were like for Mandy before the program. She thought she was going to be stuck in the very confusing lease that she was in. She was initially reached out to me because we were talking about in my Facebook group, we're talking about leases, independent contractors, and things like that. She was also stuck thinking really, really negatively. She had other issues with therapists in town, and she was kind of competitive and felt a little bit stymied. And she had these issues with these other therapists that really weren't real because she was being fed some lies by her coworkers. So she already felt defeated. And she also felt like she was being used by another massage therapist that she worked for, who was just kind of all about filling her schedule and not helping Mandy to fill her schedule, even though that was their agreement. She just didn't see how she could succeed and just felt like she was constantly up against trying to be the best, yet constantly feeling torn down. And worst thing of all, Mandy told me she felt like she had no control over her own business. She was a so-called independent contractor, but her agreement, oh my gosh, it was messy. And so she reached out to me for help. There were months that Mandy said she was struggling to pay herself even $900 a month and pay her $350 rent. She just felt like she was never going to get ahead, and like, how on earth could I make money at this without struggling for years? So I worked with Mandy for 8 weeks in my program, and this is what she says afterwards, implementing these shifts and strategies that I teach. She says, now I feel like I have the tools to succeed. And after 8 weeks, she left that practice, and she was in her own space, in charge of her own business. She literally had the keys to her own practice within 8 weeks. She says, the only true competition I see now is myself. I've resolved all of those issues, and I have targets, and I can strategize what works and what doesn't work because I have clear numbers and goals and actions to take. I'm not just crossing my fingers anymore and hoping it all works out. I'm changing my thinking. I'm looking at the future with more hope than ever. And then I asked her about specific results, and she said I could share this with you guys. She said before the program, which was March of this last year, she had her max was $2,500 in sales in 1 month. In the first month of mentoring with me, she made $4,750. Hello, that's almost twice what she had ever made. And she is still going strong, self-employed. She's a total rock star. I love Mandy. So I love celebrating my students' success. It's so awesome and gives you an idea of what's possible. You guys do not have to struggle. So here's what you need to win. You got to let go of trying to get anyone and everyone through your door. Let go of that, you guys. That is scarcity mentality. You've got to get crystal clear about your key numbers. You have to have and execute a proven strategy. You've got to avoid that cross your fingers and hope it works marketing. You've got to stop being so available, and you must invest in a mentor. So I'm going to tell you how I want to help you. I have set aside some time in the next week or two to speak with you personally about how you can apply these shifts to your practice starting today. because you need to know how to apply these. We've gone through them, but you might be left wondering, like, how do I actually do this in my unique situation? What is, what's my strategy? What are my numbers? What are my needs and what are my goals? So, by the way, I'm offering a discovery call for 45 minutes to work with you, and it is absolutely free. I only have a few openings, and there are a lot of you watching this, so I want you to pay attention to what I have to say next, because this is not for everybody. Okay, this is who I am offering this to. Is you've got to be hungry for success. You've got to be somebody who has tried or failed and cannot afford to fail. If you are currently absolutely fed up with hunting down advice, reading a bunch of books, figuring out articles, and taking cheap courses, if you're somebody who needs results now and fast, and you also have to be good at what you do. You must be an action taker who follows directions. You also have to be able to invest in your practice with time and money. And also, you've got to be somebody who has high ethics and professional standards. So I am offering a free 45-minute discovery call. If that sounds like you and you meet that criteria, this is for you. So here's how this works. We're going to get on a call for about 45 minutes. It's not a consultation, you guys. This is a strategy call. It's about you. I'm going to ask you a ton of questions, and we're really going to find out what is the best strategy, what is holding you back. We're going to see if I can help you solve your problems, if I can help you get results faster than you would on your own, and see if you can use my years of experience and put them to good use for yourself, okay? There's no high-pressure sales or anything. I actually don't even make offers to work together for a lot of people that I talk to. I actually turn a lot of people away. Now, like I said, the call is free. My mentoring program is not free. It's not cheap. We talked about it's important to invest in a great mentor. But here's how this works. When we're done, you're going to have absolute clarity on the call about what you must do to make your practice successful. And I'm going to do that free of charge, guys. So if this is you and you are ready to rock your massage practice, I'm going to give you this link to fill out your application. You're going to fill out an application for your 45-minute discovery session with me, and then you're going to pick a time in the next day or so. And guys, there are a lot of you, and there is only one of me. So once those time slots are gone, I am sorry, they are gone. Go ahead right here and fill out your application. Just go to www.rebeccaoverson.com/application. I've put that right up there on the screen too, so that you can take a look at that. All right. You guys, last thing here is I just want you to know it is my joy to help people pull out their biggest gifts and present them to the world. There's a reason you're here. There's a reason that you are called to do this work, that you are called to be in this profession. You do not have to struggle. The world needs you. The world needs your gifts, and I am so excited to see what you do with this information to bless the lives of the people around you that need what you do. So thank you so much for your time. I hope this has been super valuable for you, and just really, really appreciate the opportunity to connect with any and all of you through this and after the presentation as well.
Rebecca, thank you so much for such a powerful session. I love your passion. I love that you shared your personal story and your personal journey, because so many of us have been on a similar journey. When we start out, we're really excited and things don't always go the way we think they are going to go. And sometimes we can get discouraged. So this is a really great way for anyone who's in that place to really know that there is a lot for you in this profession. I always think of this profession as one of the ones that has unlimited possibility and potential, because there is not one single person on the planet that cannot benefit from loving, skilled touch. Thank you so much for being so willing to share this with us today. Really, really appreciate it, and this will definitely help a lot of people.
Thank you. It's my joy. It is my dream. I just want to spare other people the pain and put my pain to good use. So it's been an absolute pleasure to share this with you. I appreciate the opportunity.
Fabulous. And I just want to remind everybody, please pop over onto Rebecca's Facebook group, The Art of Building a Successful Massage Practice, And she will ask you, what I love about this group too, is that you'll be asked to say why you want to join this group. And because that's important for Rebecca to have a group that is cohesive and that is of like-minded people. So anything else before we go?
No, I think that's it. Just again, that application, if you guys want to talk with me, again, if you meet that criteria, if you don't, wait, okay? If you don't meet that criteria, wait. Leave those spots open for people that do meet that criteria. I'm not going anywhere, I promise. And then it's just RebeccaOverson.com/application. You can also visit my website. Right now, it's just a private password protected place for my students. But if you do need to get in touch with me, there's a little form you can fill out there. But best place to get in touch with me is I'm very active and involved on that Facebook group, The Art of Building a Successful Massage Practice. So hope to see you guys there.
Fabulous. Well, thank you again, Rebecca. Truly appreciate all of your efforts today. So just before we go, I'd also like to thank our global sponsor, Massage Envy. As a Massage Envy therapist, you put your heart and soul into offering other people feel their best. You deserve a career that nurtures you as a person, an artist, and a professional. Visit massageenvy.com/careers to find a career that cares for you. Massage Envy franchise locations are independently owned and operated and are the sole employers for all positions they hire. And thank you to our education partner. Associated Bodywork and Massage Professionals provides an extensive array of member benefits and exceptional liability insurance. Visit abmp.com to discover why over 80,000 massage and bodywork professionals have chosen ABMP as their professional association. Thank you to our daily sponsors, Massage and Bodywork Magazine, Bon Vital, BioFreeze, and Massage Warehouse.